You've always heard nuts are healthy, right? Almonds, peanuts, cashews. They show up in bars, salads, and trail mixes. But here's something most folks never hear. For some seniors, a few of these healthy nuts might be quietly chipping away at your leg strength. Not just stiffness, but real weakness. The kind that makes stairs feel longer, standing up harder, and morning walks feel like a chore. I've seen it in my own family. My aunt thought her joint pain was just aging. Turns out, her daily peanut snack was making it worse. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on 3 common nuts that could be draining your energy and holding your mobility hostage. You deserve better. Let's talk about what's really going on. As we get older, our legs become more than just limbs. They are our freedom, our balance, our independence. Without strong legs, everyday things, getting out of bed, climbing stairs, or standing in the kitchen, can feel like a challenge. Now here's the surprising part. Some of the foods you think are helping you, like peanuts, almonds, or cashews, might actually be working against you. I know a neighbor, Mary, who is active and careful about her diet, but she started struggling with joint stiffness and leg cramps. Turns out, her go-to snack, almonds, was part of the problem. Once she made a few changes, the difference was night and day. In this video, I'll show you what to look for, what to switch, and how to give your legs the support they need. You don't have to guess anymore. We're breaking it all down, step by step. Let's be honest. Once you pass 60, your legs become a major part of how you live each day. But what if they start feeling weaker? Slower? Maybe you notice your balance is off, or stairs feel harder than they used to. Most folks chalk it up to aging. And yes, aging plays a role. But sometimes, it's not just your birthday count. It might be what you're eating. Peanuts, almonds, cashews. These common snacks can sneak in problems if you have gout, kidney strain, or gut issues. I met a woman named Carol who thought her joint pain was from old shoes. Turns out, it was her daily peanut snack triggering flare-ups. She made one small switch, and within weeks, her pain eased. That's how powerful food can be. Let's start with a nut you've probably had 100 times, peanuts. Salty, crunchy, and a go-to snack during TV time or road trips. They seem innocent, right? But for some folks over 60, peanuts can quietly be causing big problems, especially for their joints and legs. Here's the thing about peanuts. They're not actually nuts. They're legumes like beans and lentils. And while they're packed with protein, they're also packed with something called purines. Now, purines aren't bad by themselves, but when your body breaks them down, it creates uric acid. If you have too much uric acid in your system, it builds up in your joints, and boom, you got a gout flare. Gout is a form of arthritis, and it's more common than you think. It causes sudden, intense pain, usually in the big toe, but also in your knees, ankles, and feet. A 2019 study showed that seniors on high-purine diets had a 25% higher risk of gout attacks. One small handful of peanuts, just about 1 ounce, can contain over 100 milligrams of purines. For someone sensitive, that's enough to push things over the edge. And it doesn't stop there. Peanuts also contain a good amount of omega-6 fatty acids. Now, omega-6s are essential, but they need to be balanced with omega-3s. The problem is, most people already get too much omega-6 from fried foods and processed snacks. Piling on peanuts just makes the imbalance worse. And when omega-6 is too high, it promotes inflammation in the body. That means more stiffness in your joints, slower recovery after activity, and that heavy leg feeling that's hard to shake. I met a man named James who had been eating peanut butter on toast every morning for years. He thought it was a smart, protein-packed breakfast. But over time, his knees got worse. Stairs became tough. When he finally saw a rheumatologist, his uric acid levels were sky high. He switched to walnuts and started drinking more water. Within a few months, the pain started to ease. He said, "I never thought a spoonful of peanut butter could be the thing holding me back. You don't have to wait until the pain gets unbearable. If you've had gout before or deal with regular joint pain, try cutting peanuts out completely for a few weeks. See how your body feels. Talk to your doctor about a uric acid test. It's a simple blood test that can tell you a lot. Swap peanuts for lower purine nuts like walnuts or pecans. Walnuts only have about 20 milligrams of purines per 100 grams, and they're high in omega-3s, which actually reduce inflammation. Also, hydrate. Uric acid is flushed out by the kidneys, so drinking plenty of water, 8 to 10 glasses a day, can help prevent buildup. If you miss the peanut crunch, try roasted chickpeas or pumpkin seeds. They're satisfying, low in purines, and won't leave your joints begging for mercy. And here's something else worth knowing. During the Civil War, peanuts were a major survival food for soldiers. They were cheap, portable, and packed with calories. Later, George Washington Carver made peanuts famous for their uses in everything from oil to paper. But even in the 1800s, some doctors warned about purine-rich foods like peanuts causing joint flare-ups in wealthy patients who overindulged. The bottom line? Peanuts aren't evil, but for certain bodies at a certain age, they can be a hidden roadblock. Once you know that, you can make smarter choices and get your strength back, one bite at a time. Don't let a small snack steal your mobility. Now let's talk about almonds. They have a great reputation. You see them in heart-healthy snack packs, protein bars, and all over social media. People toss them in their oatmeal, blend them into smoothies, or just munch on them by the handful. And yes, almonds do have good stuff, fiber, vitamin E, and healthy fats. But here's what most people don't know. If you're over 60 and have kidney issues or get muscle cramps often, almonds could be a hidden troublemaker. Almonds are loaded with something called oxalates. These are natural compounds found in many plant foods. The problem is when oxalates build up in your body, they can bind with calcium and form kidney stones. Painful, hard-to-pass stones that can make it feel like your lower back and legs are being stabbed from the inside. 1 ounce of almonds, just 23 nuts, has enough oxalates to raise a red flag if your kidneys are already sensitive. A 2020 study from the Journal of Endocrinology found that seniors with high oxalate diets had a 15% higher risk of developing stones. That might not sound huge, but if you've ever had one of these stones, you know how miserable they can be. And it doesn't stop there. Almonds are also high in phosphorus. While phosphorus helps keep bones strong, too much of it, especially in people with compromised kidneys, can throw off the calcium balance in your blood. The result? Muscle cramps, spasms, and leg fatigue. I once met a woman named Linda, 67 years old, who loved almonds. She ate them daily as a snack and even drank almond milk every morning. Then she started having cramps in her calves, especially at night. Her doctor checked her labs and found elevated phosphorus and early signs of kidney strain. The fix? Cutting back on almonds and switching to lower oxalate options. Within weeks, her cramps eased and she felt like herself again. So what should you do? If you've had kidney stones in the past, or if your doctor has mentioned kidney function as something to watch, take it seriously. Try swapping almonds for nuts with fewer oxalates, like pistachios or macadamia nuts. You can also soak almonds overnight to reduce their oxalate content by 10 to 20%, and pair them with calcium-rich foods like yogurt or milk, which helps bind oxalates in your gut instead of letting them get absorbed. And of course, drink water. A lot of water, 10 to 12 glasses a day, can help flush excess oxalates from your system. If you love almond butter, limit it to a teaspoon a day since it's more concentrated than whole almonds. Almonds have a history, too. They date back thousands of years to ancient Persia and Egypt. They were prized for their shelf life and flavor. But even old herbal texts warned that eating too much could stress digestion and cause imbalances in the body. Turns out they were onto something. The key takeaway? Almonds aren't bad. But if your kidneys are a little worn or your legs cramp more than they should, it might be time to rethink the snack bowl. A simple swap could mean fewer cramps, better energy, and stronger steps. It's also worth noting that many seniors take medications that can affect kidney function, like diuretics or blood pressure pills. When you combine that with a high intake of oxalates and phosphorus from almonds, it puts added pressure on your kidneys. And that can lead to symptoms like fatigue, swelling in the legs, or even higher fall risk due to cramping. So it's not just about snacks, it's about your whole body working better together. Don't worry, you don't have to give up on healthy eating. The key is choosing what works best for your body now. Listen to what your legs are telling you. If they're feeling tight, weak, or painful, it's time to rethink those handfuls of almonds. There are better options out there, and the right one could be the difference between walking with ease and struggling with every step. Let's move on to cashews. Creamy, buttery, and hard to stop eating. They're one of those nuts people reach for without thinking. Great in stir-fries, trail mix, or straight out of the jar. But for some folks, especially those with sensitive stomachs or digestive issues, cashews can be more trouble than they're worth. Here's why. Cashews are high in something called FODMAPs. That stands for fermentable oligosaccharides, disaccharides, monosaccharides, and polyols. A mouthful, I know. Certain types of carbohydrates don't break down easily in the gut. Instead, they ferment, causing gas, bloating, and discomfort. For people with irritable bowel syndrome or sensitive digestion, FODMAPs can be a nightmare. Just a small handful of cashews can lead to bloating that makes your whole body feel sluggish. And when your gut feels off, you don't want to move. A 2022 study from the American Journal of Gastroenterology found that 70% of people with IBS report worsened symptoms after eating high FODMAP foods like cashews. That discomfort keeps people from walking, stretching, or even standing for too long. And over time, that lack of movement weakens your legs. But there's another issue with cashews: magnesium. Yes, magnesium is important for muscle health, but too much can have a laxative effect, especially in seniors whose digestive systems may already be sensitive. 1 ounce of cashews has over 80 milligrams of magnesium. For some people, that's enough to cause loose stools or even diarrhea. That leads to dehydration, and when you're dehydrated, your muscles don't function as well. You get cramps, fatigue, and your legs feel like they're dragging. I know a man named Henry who loved cashews. He added them to salads and snacked on them every afternoon. But he kept having abdominal pain and was constantly tired. His doctor suggested trying a low FODMAP diet. Henry cut out cashews and switched to walnuts and pumpkin seeds. Within 2 weeks, the bloating was gone. His energy improved, and he even started walking after dinner again. If you suspect cashews might be messing with your gut, try a 2-week break. Track how your body responds. You can also try roasting cashews instead of eating them raw. Roasting helps break down some FODMAPs and may make them easier to digest. Pair them with ginger tea or peppermint to ease bloating. And drink plenty of water, at least 8 glasses a day, to help flush your system and support your muscles. Cashews come from Brazil, where their shell contains a toxic oil that's related to poison ivy. That's why they're always sold shelled and processed. In ancient cultures, the nut was considered powerful but tricky, kind of like today. Bottom line, cashews might be delicious, but they're not always kind to your gut or your legs. If you got IBS, low energy, or just don't feel quite right after snacking on them, it's worth paying attention. Sometimes, the smallest change can lead to a huge improvement in how you move and feel. It's also important to consider how many older adults are already managing digestive conditions. IBS, acid reflux, and general sensitivity become more common with age. When you throw in high FODMAP foods like cashews, it adds fuel to the fire. That discomfort doesn't just affect your stomach, It affects your motivation to move, your ability to exercise, and even your mood. Now, this isn't about fear, it's about awareness. Cashews are not bad for everyone, but they are not ideal for everybody. Knowing how your body reacts and making smarter choices based on that knowledge is the key. You don't need to avoid nuts altogether. You just need to find the ones that work for your gut, support your energy, and help your legs stay strong. So next time you reach for a handful of cashews, just pause. Think about how you felt last time, and maybe give your legs and your belly a break by choosing something that supports you better from the inside out. Let's bring everything together with some real-life support and takeaways. Because knowing which nuts to avoid is helpful, but putting that knowledge into action, that's where real change happens. Take Harold, for example. He's 68, lives in Florida, and for years, he thought almonds were his best snack option. He'd grab a handful mid-morning every day like clockwork. But then came the kidney stones, sharp pain that shot through his lower back and legs. He was limping, restless at night, and struggling with even basic movement. His doctor finally pointed out the link. Almonds are high in oxalates, which can trigger stones, especially in seniors. So Harold made a switch. He swapped almonds for pistachios, started soaking any nuts he ate overnight, and added a short chair exercise routine every morning. For months later, Harold was golfing again and sleeping through the night without pain. That's the kind of change we're after. And Harold isn't alone. I've met dozens of people who started noticing how their legs felt after changing what they ate. One woman told me she had no idea her daily peanut butter toast could be tied to her swollen ankles. Another man cut out cashews for 2 weeks and was finally able to take the stairs again without needing to rest halfway up. So, what can you do to support your legs and overall strength starting today? First, start with hydration. Your joints and muscles love water. Aim for at least 8 to 10 glasses a day. It sounds simple, but most people don't drink enough. Second, swap problem nuts for better ones. Walnuts, pistachios, pecans, sunflower seeds. These are all great lower-risk options that still give you the crunch and healthy fats without the inflammation or digestive stress. Next, pair your snacks with anti-inflammatory foods. Berries, turmeric, ginger, leafy greens. These can help soothe your joints and support circulation. I often tell folks to keep a little mobility tray in the fridge, a handful of walnuts, some cucumber slices, and a cup of tart cherry juice. It's easy, it's refreshing, and it supports everything we've talked about today. Also, make movement part of your routine, but keep it gentle. You don't need to hit the gym. Try 15 minutes of chair exercises each day. Leg lifts, ankle rolls, seated marches. These light moves keep blood flowing, muscles engaged, and confidence high. Lastly, track your reactions. Keep a small notebook or use your phone to jot down how you feel after meals. Are your knees stiff in the afternoon? Do you feel bloated after lunch? Did that peanut butter snack lead to a night of cramping? These little notes can help you connect the dots. This journey isn't about being perfect. It's about paying attention, trying new things, and choosing what helps your body feel strong, steady, and supported. Your legs have carried you through a lot. Now it's time to give them the care they deserve, starting with your next snack. You can also try adding natural supplements like fish oil or turmeric capsules, both shown in studies to reduce joint inflammation. But always check with your doctor first, especially if you're taking other medications. Another tip is to avoid salted nuts if you're dealing with swelling or high blood pressure. Too much sodium can make joint discomfort worse, and it can cause your legs and feet to retain water, making it even harder to move. If you're someone who likes routine, build these better habits into your daily schedule. For example, prep a small snack mix each Sunday: walnuts, pumpkin seeds, and a few dried cranberries. Portion them out so you're not grabbing random handfuls when you're hungry. Also, label jars in your pantry. It may sound silly, but putting a small note on your cashew container that says limit to 5 if needed can make a big difference when you're reaching without thinking. It's all about consistency, not perfection. And with every small step, your legs will thank you. So here we are. You've learned a surprising truth about peanuts, almonds, and cashews. On the outside, they look like smart, healthy choices. But inside your body, they might be causing pain, slowing you down, and making your legs feel heavier than they should. The good news? You can turn it all around. It doesn't take a major lifestyle overhaul. Just a few smart swaps and a little awareness. Like Harold, who gave up almonds and started moving better in just a few weeks. Or Carol, who ditched her peanut butter toast and saw her ankle swelling disappear. These small changes made a big difference. This isn't about giving up your favorite foods forever. It's about noticing how your body feels, choosing what supports your strength, and making adjustments that add up. Think of every smart swap as an investment in your mobility, your energy, and your confidence. Your legs carry you through life. Let's make sure they stay strong for every step ahead. You've got this, and it starts right now. Let's take a moment to reflect on Harold's journey, because his story could easily be yours. All he did was swap almonds for pistachios, hydrate better, and do a few simple chair exercises. No gym, no big changes, and his legs thanked him for it. He started walking farther, standing longer, and living with less pain. That's what awareness can do. Now you know the facts about peanuts, almonds, and cashews. The power is in your hands. Whether it's adding more water, switching snacks, or moving just a little more each day, you can feel the difference. These aren't just health tips. They're building blocks for a stronger, more active life. You're not stuck. You're not too old. You're just one smart choice away from feeling better than yesterday. And it all starts now. If this video helped you understand your body better, give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend who might need it too. Don't forget to subscribe for more tips that keep your legs strong and your life moving forward. Got a nut story or tip to share? Drop it in the comments. We'd love to hear it. And if you're ready to feel better, one snack at a time, check out our mobility playlist. Your next step starts right here with us.